Hello everyone! Welcome back to English Listening and Speaking channel. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more videos every day.
I was late for work. Easy English story for beginners. Hello and welcome to our English learning story. Today we are going to listen to a simple English story called I Was Late for Work. This story is about a young woman named Emma. Emma has a new job in a big city. She likes her job, but one morning something goes wrong. Her alarm does not wake her up. She misses her bus. Then she gets stuck in traffic. Emma is worried because she is going to be late for work. But this difficult morning teaches her an important lesson. So let's listen to Emma's story. Listen carefully, enjoy the story, and practice your English. My name is Emma. I am 25 years old. A few weeks ago, I moved to a new city. I moved here because I got a new job. It was my first job in a big company. I was very excited. I was also a little nervous. My office was in a tall building in the center of the city. The building had 20 floors. My office was on the 10th floor. Every morning, I had to take a bus to work. The bus stop was about 5 minutes from my apartment. The bus ride usually took about 30 minutes. My work started at 8:30 in the morning, so I usually woke up at 6:30. I had enough time to take a shower. I had enough time to eat breakfast. I had enough time to get dressed. Then I left my apartment at 7:30. I always tried to arrive at work early. I did not like being late. In fact, I was usually one of the first people to arrive at the office. My manager, Mr. Brown, liked people who were on time. He always said, "Being on time shows respect for other people." I agreed with him. So every night, I prepared everything for the next morning. I put my clothes on a chair. I put my keys next to my bag. I charged my phone. I set my alarm. Then I went to bed. Everything was easy. Everything was normal. Until one Monday morning. Sunday night was different. I had a busy weekend. On Saturday, I went shopping with my friend, Sarah. On Sunday, I cleaned my apartment. I also cooked dinner. After dinner, I watched a movie. The movie was very interesting. I told myself, I will watch only 30 minutes. But 30 minutes became 1 hour. Then 1 hour became 2 hours. Finally, I looked at the clock. It was almost midnight. "Oh no," I said. "I have work tomorrow." I quickly turned off the television. I went to my bedroom. I set my alarm for 6:30. Then I put my phone on the table. I closed my eyes. I was very tired. I fell asleep quickly. The next morning, something strange happened. My alarm rang at 6:30. But I did not hear it. The alarm rang again. I still did not wake up. Maybe I was too tired. Maybe I had not slept enough. My phone continued to ring. But I was sleeping deeply. Finally, at 7:35, I opened my eyes. I looked at the clock. For a few seconds, I did not understand. Then I suddenly realized. It was 7:35. I jumped out of bed. Oh my goodness! I am late. I looked at my phone. I had only 55 minutes before work started. I needed to leave my apartment immediately. I ran to the bathroom. I brushed my teeth. I washed my face. I did not have time for a shower. I ran back to my bedroom. I opened my closet. I looked at my clothes. What should I wear? I did not have time to think. I grabbed a blue shirt. I grabbed a pair of black pants. I put them on quickly. Then I looked in the mirror. My hair was a mess. Oh no! I tried to fix my hair, but it did not look good. I did not care. I needed to leave. I grabbed my bag. I grabbed my keys. Then I ran out of my apartment. I closed the door. I looked at my watch. It was 7:45. I have 45 minutes, I thought. Maybe I can still get to work on time. I ran down the stairs. I did not want to wait for the elevator. I opened the front door. Then I started running toward the bus stop. The bus stop was 5 minutes away. Usually, I walked there. But that morning, I ran. I ran as fast as I could. When I arrived at the bus stop, I was breathing heavily. There were several people waiting. I looked at the road. Where was the bus? I checked the time. It was 7:50. The bus usually arrived at 7:55. I still had a chance. I stood at the bus stop. I waited. 5 minutes passed. The bus did not come. I looked at the road again. Nothing. 10 minutes passed. Still no bus. I started to feel worried. Then I saw a bus coming. Yes. I thought it was my bus. I waved my hand. The bus stopped. I walked toward it. Then I looked at the number. It was not my bus. It was the wrong bus. Oh no! The bus left. I checked the time. It was 8 o'clock. My work started in 30 minutes. I needed to get to work. I decided to wait for the next bus. 5 minutes later, my bus finally arrived. I got on the bus. There were many people. The bus was crowded. I looked for a seat. There were no empty seats. So I stood near the door. The bus started moving. I looked at my phone. I had a message. It was from Sarah.
Good morning, Emma. Are you ready for work? I quickly replied. Good morning. I am on my way. Then I looked at the time. It was 8:10. I had 20 minutes before work. Normally, the bus took 30 minutes. I started to panic. There was no way I could arrive on time. I looked out the window. The bus was moving slowly. Very slowly. Then I saw the reason. There was a lot of traffic. Cars were everywhere. The road was full. The bus stopped. Then it moved a little. Then it stopped again. I looked at my phone. 8:15. 8:20. 8:25. I was going to be late. The bus was stuck in traffic. I looked around. Everyone seemed worried. Some people looked at their phones. Some people looked out the windows. One man sighed loudly. This traffic is terrible, he said. I agreed. Yes, it is terrible. I looked at the road. There were hundreds of cars. I could not see the end of the traffic. The bus moved very slowly. I checked my phone again. 8:27. My work started in 3 minutes. I was definitely going to be late. I thought about my manager. I thought about Mr. Brown. He was usually friendly, but he did not like people who were late. I felt terrible. Then I remembered something. I had Mr. Brown's phone number. I quickly called him. He answered after a few seconds. Hello, this is Mr. Brown. Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Good morning, Emma. I took a deep breath. I'm sorry, but I am going to be late. There was a short silence. Are you okay? He asked. Yes, I'm okay. What happened? I woke up late. I felt embarrassed. And now I'm stuck in traffic. Mr. Brown was quiet. Then he said, Okay, how late will you be? I don't know. I looked out the window. The traffic is very bad. Okay, Emma. I'm really sorry. Don't worry, just be safe. Thank you. Call me when you arrive. I will. We ended the call. I felt a little better. At least I had told him. I did not want to arrive at work without saying anything. The bus moved again. Slowly. Very slowly. I looked at the time. 8:30. My workday had officially started. But I was still on the bus.
At 8:35, the bus finally moved faster. The traffic was getting better. I looked at the map on my phone. I was still about 10 minutes from my office. The bus was moving, but it was still too slow. Then I saw a train station. I remembered that there was a train that went near my office. Maybe I could get off the bus. Maybe I could take the train. I quickly looked at the map. The train station was only 2 minutes away. I made a decision. I pressed the button. The bus stopped. I got off. Then I ran to the train station. I bought a ticket. I looked at the train schedule. The next train was coming in 4 minutes. I had to wait. I looked at my watch. 8:45. I was already 15 minutes late. I felt terrible. I wanted to call Mr. Brown again, but I decided to wait. Finally, the train arrived. I got on. The train was not very crowded. I found a seat. For the first time that morning, I could relax. I took a deep breath. I thought about what had happened. I had stayed up too late. I had not slept enough. I had missed my alarm. I had rushed out of my apartment. I had almost missed the bus. Then I got stuck in traffic. It was all because of one mistake. I should have gone to bed earlier. I should have prepared better. I should have set 2 alarms. I promised myself that I would not make the same mistake again. The train arrived at my station at 8:55. I got off the train. Then I ran to my office. The office building was only 5 minutes away. I arrived at 9 o'clock. I walked through the front door. I took the elevator. I pressed number 10. The elevator went up. My heart was beating fast. I was nervous. What would Mr. Brown say? When the elevator doors opened, I walked into the office. Everyone was already working. I looked around. Then I saw Mr. Brown. He was standing near his desk. He looked at me. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Mr. Brown. I'm very sorry I'm late. He nodded. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Good. I really apologize. I understand. Thank you. Mr. Brown smiled. Just try to arrive on time tomorrow. I will. Okay, go ahead and start your work. Thank you. I walked to my desk. I put my bag down. I sat in my chair. I was finally at work. I felt tired. I felt embarrassed. But I was also relieved. Mr. Brown was not angry. He understood that sometimes things happen. But I knew I needed to be more responsible. At lunchtime, Sarah called me. Emma, how was your morning? I laughed. You don't want to know. Why? I was late for work. What happened?
I woke up late. Sarah laughed. Emma, you are never late. I know. Did you miss the bus? Yes. Then what happened? I got on the next bus. And the bus got stuck in traffic. Oh no. Then I took the train. Sarah laughed again. You had a terrible morning. I really did. Did your manager get angry? No, he was actually very nice. That is good. Yes. Sarah was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Emma, maybe you need a better morning routine. I think you're right. What time did you go to bed last night? I thought about it. Almost midnight. Emma. I know. You need more sleep. I know. Tonight, go to bed early. I will. And set 2 alarms. 2 alarms? Yes, 1 alarm on your phone and 1 alarm somewhere else. That is a good idea. Also, prepare your clothes the night before. I already do that. Good. Then I just need to sleep earlier. Exactly. I smiled. Thank you, Sarah. You're welcome.
That evening, I went home after work. I was tired. But I did not watch television. I did not watch a movie. Instead, I prepared everything for the next morning. First, I prepared my clothes. I chose a white shirt. I chose a pair of black pants. I put them on a chair. Then, I prepared my work bag. I put my laptop inside. I put my notebook inside. I put my keys inside. I put my wallet inside. Then, I checked my phone. I charged it. After that, I set 2 alarms. The first alarm was for 6:30. The second alarm was for 6:40. I put my phone far away from my bed. I knew that if the phone was next to me, I might turn off the alarm and go back to sleep. Then I looked at the clock. It was 9:30. I was tired. I decided to go to bed. Before I went to sleep, I thought about my day. It had been a difficult day. But I learned something important. Being late can happen to anyone. But sometimes being late is the result of poor planning. I needed to take responsibility. I needed to sleep enough. I needed to prepare. I needed to give myself extra time. I smiled. Tomorrow would be better.
The next morning, my first alarm rang at 6:30. I opened my eyes. I was still tired, but I remembered what happened the day before. I quickly got out of bed. I turned off the alarm. Then I opened the curtains. The sun was coming up. The city was quiet. I went to the bathroom. I took a shower. Then I got dressed. My clothes were already ready. That saved me time. I went to the kitchen. I made breakfast. I had some bread and eggs. I also made a cup of coffee. I checked my phone. It was 7:15. I still had plenty of time. I smiled. After breakfast, I checked my bag. Everything was ready. I put on my shoes. Then I left my apartment. I walked to the bus stop. I arrived at 7:30. The bus arrived 5 minutes later. I got on. This time I found a seat. I sat down. I looked out the window. The city was waking up. People were going to work. Children were going to school. Shops were opening. The streets were becoming busy. I looked at the time. 7:45. I was early. I smiled. I had learned my lesson. I arrived at work at 8:10. My work started at 8:30. I was 20 minutes early. I walked into the office. Mr. Brown was already there. He looked at me. "Good morning, Emma." "Good morning, Mr. Brown." "You are early today." I laughed. "Yes, that's good. I'm trying to improve." Mr. Brown smiled. "Everyone makes mistakes." "I know. The important thing is to learn from them." I nodded. "I learned a lot yesterday." "Good." Then I sat at my desk. I opened my laptop. I started working. I felt calm. I felt prepared. I felt proud. I knew that I could not control everything. Sometimes buses were late. Sometimes there was traffic. Sometimes unexpected things happened. But I could control how I prepared. I could wake up earlier. I could sleep enough. I could leave home with extra time. And if something unexpected happened, I could call my manager. That was the lesson I learned. Being late was not the end of the world. But being responsible was important. That day taught me something I will never forget. Sometimes small choices can create big problems. Going to bed too late caused me to wake up late. Waking up late caused me to miss my bus. Missing my bus caused me to take another bus. The traffic made everything worse. In the end, I arrived at work 30 minutes late. But I also learned an important lesson. Now I always prepare for the next day. I go to bed earlier. I set 2 alarms. I prepare my clothes. I prepare my work bag. And I always leave home early. I still make mistakes sometimes. Everyone does. But I try to learn from my mistakes. So if you are learning English, remember some useful expressions from Emma's story. You can say, "I am running late." This means you are going to be late. You can say, "I am stuck in traffic." This means you cannot move because there are too many cars. You can say, "I missed the bus." This means the bus left before you could get on it. You can say, "I'm sorry I'm late." This is a polite way to apologize. And you can say, "I will be more careful next time." This means you will try not to make the same mistake again. Thank you for listening to this English story. I hope you enjoyed Emma's story. And I hope you learned some useful English today. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is to learn from them. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep improving your English. See you in the next story.